Well, you know you have to get it done, but you wait. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes the next day, and the next day becomes the next week, and the next week becomes never. And so why do we procrastinate, and what can we do about it? My next guest has written a book that can help. Jeffery Combs has written The Procrastination Cure, 7 Steps to Stop Putting Life Off. Hey, Jeffery, good morning to you.
How you doing, Danielle? Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Why do we procrastinate?
You know, that is a great question because procrastination is an addiction. It becomes an identity, actually. And you know, it's a very unspoken trait that many people have. They don't even know that they procrastinate. But there's 2 major reasons we procrastinate. Number 1, to avoid perceived pain. And number 2, to rebel.
To rebel. Procrastination and rebellion. I wouldn't quite put those 2 together. And so when you talk about the root causes of procrastination and you talk about it being maybe a form of rebellion, you know, where does all of this stem from?
Great question. First of all, procrastination is an effect. It's not a cause. Like any addiction, cause and effect. Procrastination is going to stem from a series of events. And we tend to procrastinate to avoid the perceived pain. A series of events create us being late, it creates our rebellion, it creates us being chronic, and to really address procrastination is to look at it like an addiction.
Isn't that interesting? I never would have thought procrastination as an addiction. When you think of addiction, you think of, you know, drugs or vices or something like that. And I know that you say there are, what, 6 types of procrastinators? Who are they?
Once again, there are many faces of procrastination, but in my research for many years understanding why we procrastinate, I broke it down to 6 procrastination types, much like a personality type. The first type is the angry giver. The second personality type when it comes to procrastination is a big deal chaser. The third procrastinator type is the chronic worrier. The fourth procrastinator type is the drama addict. I also call that dramazula.
Okay, like Montezuma, dramazuma, okay.
The fifth procrastinator type is the neurotic perfectionist, the perpetual get ready to get ready. And number 6 is the rebellious rebeller. That personality type takes procrastination to an extreme. They can't conform to their own success. They're so rebellious, they rebel against their own success.
All right, so let's say I'm a procrastinator, and I know which one of those I am. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to put me on your couch and analyze me. It's like for that hour-long session, but let's say I am a procrastinator. I want to change. How do I go from procrastination to production?
Great question. And also, here's what you really do. First of all, you have to understand cause and effect, and you must be aware that you procrastinate. Case in point, I went into my dentist office recently, showed him my book, and he goes, ha, 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 that's me, world's worst procrastinator. Then he proceeded to tell me how his desk was out of control. See, that means that's his identity. So to change, we must start with a recovering procrastinator. Present tense statement, I'm a recovering procrastinator. Then also break procrastination down. First of all, you're not a procrastinator. When you say that, it becomes your identity. We tend to procrastinate in isolated areas. Break the areas down you procrastinate and start to do what you should do rather than continue to avoid putting it off. You have to be aware that you procrastinate. You have to have a basic understanding that this is a trait that does not serve me.
Now, I know you yourself are a recovering procrastinator. When did you know, listen, I've hit rock bottom here, it's time to change?
I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. I had so much rage built up in my body from some of my own disappointments, from my big deal chasing. And I became a rebellious rebeller. I really couldn't conform, and I took conformity to its extreme. Spent 14 years as a drug addict and an alcoholic, and eventually hit absolute emotional, physical, and financial rock bottom. And when I got clean and sober, when I was 32 years old, that's when my life changed.
How so?
Well, I had to get real.
Yeah. So these changes then that you talk about in the book worked for you in your own life?
Well, I'm my best student.
Yeah.
This isn't theory.
Yeah.
And I've also coached 6,000 clients, 60,000 hours of one-on-one coaching. So I teach people exactly the same process I went through. And everyone's going to filter it different because there's no black and white, there's no right and wrong. I mean, but at some point we have to get honest with ourselves, step out of denial and get real with why we procrastinate.
Jeffery Combs, my recovering procrastinator, thank you so much for being on the show this morning.
Thank you, Danielle. It's an absolute privilege and pleasure to be here with you, and I really appreciate what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And again, the book is called, I have it right here, The Procrastination Cure, 7 Steps to Stop Putting Life Off. For more information on Jeffery or the book, please visit the website goldenmastermind.com.